Y'all ready? I'ma tell y'all what I'ma do. See, I'm away and pose for them flicks. I'm so ready for the game. I'm waving goodbye to poverty. I'm making that change. I want a white Maserati, want a white Ducati, then a white big booty mommy with a Puerto Rican body. Then so sloppy every day like it's her hobby. Then I want her back it up just like a truck. Yeah, put it on me. Hot damn, I want it all. Just like Rhymefest said, hell yeah, I want more. Got a Benz already, but trust I ain't ready to stop and take no breaks. Hell nah, I'm pushing heavy to the mat. Stim 'em and I ain't at. Skin 'em, I'm gon' have a last laugh like O.J. Simpson. So when you see me come stand at a 10, and churn, you better treat me like I'm Neo, cause I am the one that's gonna shine like sun, cause I can switch shit up my flow, the truth and bulletproof. It's like a armor truck, then ain't go brand new, and I be hardly caught without a Barbie. Mr. Better watch your hottie, before she push that shit up on me. I'm away and pose for them flicks. I'm so ready for the game. And say what's up to all my haters, bet you recognize the name. Turn my life into a movie, you could catch me on a frame. I'm waving goodbye to poverty, I'm making that change. If you don't see me in the spot, you can trust that I am at it. Fred Savage in a booth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it then. Me. Well, hello guys. Welcome to this one time. Today I'm joined once again with the Glam Momprenuer.
Hello.
Claire Fifield.
Fifield, yes.
Fifield.
You got it
Fields.
right. Five
Right,
Fields,
that's what
yep.
it was. Okay, perfect. So we are out in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. It's
Yes.
fall officially.
It's our fall, right?
Yeah, so if the sun's not hitting us, it feels nice.
Yes.
So you have brought me out to this lovely location. Tell the folks all about it.
Okay, so we're out at the ASU Sky Song. It's the new freestanding building. I think it's only been here about 2 years or so, right across from Papago Park. So right off McDowell, Scottsdale Road. It's easy access for everybody in Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale. It's just kind of nice because it's open. It's the industrial chic
Airy.
feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a mix. It's a mix of industrial yet
chic and a tiny bit hippie because you've got all the
some mural
art,
action.
the mural stuff. I feel like it's everything.
Yeah.
Like maybe what Phoenix would be if I went to Phoenix.
I think it's
You know
the
what I
way
mean?
most places are going now, where it's just a really cool vibe.
Yeah.
It's really inviting.
Yeah.
It's
open.
we're out in the patio today. They got the lights hanging out.
Yeah, the lights are going, the misters are going, there's trees.
Yeah.
Craft cocktails.
I love this.
Super excited.
Metal straw.
Metal straws. I know. I'm like, okay, we can save the fish and everything else, but like, please no plastic or the paper straws.
The paper
I really
straws.
I'm not into it.
It's a bold move. And it's like my hat's off to you, but yeah, it goes.
It's really obnoxious for me.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're slow, if you're more of a sipper or.
Right, yeah.
You're not slamming them.
I mean, seriously, I've had like a half a sip. You on the other hand.
What do you mean? I got this like 40 minutes ago.
No, I know.
We're trying to figure out where to
kidding.
get the best angle. So I hope this angle works. We got your vendors here in the background.
Oh, yes.
Seems like everybody is enjoying themselves. We got a little table pack, hopefully out of the frame. I don't know if they want to be on film.
Oh, yeah.
But they're enjoying
conscious
some brunch. Yeah.
Of our other people that are in frame. Yes. Yeah. So I'm super excited. So something that I was excited about, when it's freestanding, there's more parking, right? So if you've been out to any of the other markets, sometimes parking was a little bit packed. Over here, it's nice. Yeah. They do have the craft cocktails. They also just rolled out a brunch menu, which I didn't have time to even look at yet.
But I'm gonna tackle that because I did not get lunch. I ate leftovers from my kids' soccer game.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They're a ham sandwich.
It's like parent life right there.
Yeah, I'm like sitting there shaving, eating. I was like, I gotta get up to Scottsdale.
Shaving, eating, trying to calculate your travel time.
I think I brushed my teeth with body wash. I don't know.
Ew, so gross. Yeah, no, seriously. I did my makeup in the car.
Yeah.
While my kids stopped to get an Arizona iced tea on the way.
There
I'm like,
you go.
yeah, just run in. Make sure you take 10 minutes at least.
You're raising self-sufficient boys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have to be. It's a rough world out there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad to see that there are two other vendors here that I recognize from the last time I was here. So I like that.
Oh, yeah. When did we shoot?
That was about a month ago up at the Salt and Lime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I like that, they are reoccurring, so that they see.
Well, and even
the
just
benefit.
since you were there, because you came out the very first time
At Salt and
that
Lime.
I'd started at Salt and Lime,
Yeah.
and I've gotten, I want to say, maybe 10 new vendors since then.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I run it a little bit different. I think we talked about that last time, but where it's like people can kind of pick and choose when they're going to come, and then I leave it up to me to fill up the days versus locking people in, because then they get mad at you. Honestly.
How dare you? I told you I was available, but how dare you hold me to it?
Yeah, seriously. Commitments, what?
Yeah. No, it's awesome to see. And I think when I was there the last time, I mean, it was your first location. I think there was maybe 4 vendors, and now I count, 2, 4, 6, not to count yours.
I think there's like 6, yeah, and then I've got 2 of my own, the Modere and the Luxx wear, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a little more time now that everybody's kind of gotten used to how I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just come and set up. Don't worry if I'm here or not. Just make it happen.
Yeah, and I don't think that's much of an issue for the ladies here that come out, because they are self-motivating. They're entrepreneurial themselves. So
exactly.
Yeah. Just a little, hey, this is, the
like the show must go on.
As long as these points are checked, go ahead.
Yeah,
and
make sure you're posting. Unless you
Yes.
hear something different from me, the event's still happening.
Yeah. Have you had to? Because I was talking to my wife, and I was like, yeah, she's doing like at least 5 different events a week.
4, yeah.
Yeah, 4. So say I wasn't far off. I'm like, yeah. This is so. Have you had any conflicts yet, or are you kind of like got that down, like handling, multitasking, juggling, like all of that?
Yeah, so I've got it pretty secured with like the managers. Well, mostly like the owners, because like I think we talked about last time, is like I usually know the owners of the venues. So as long as they know what's going on, I mean, that's kind of their job to let the managers know.
Yeah.
And then, so I mean, I just still come and show up and do my thing unless I find out that it's like not beneficial for both sides, and then I just pull the event, because it doesn't make sense to keep.
If you guys aren't both benefiting.
It's just kind of how so I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're actually in the liquor industry, and I was like, oh, it's a little frustrating because I do know the owners, and then I'm also I've been the owner of multiple brands over the last few years, and it's like I understand from sometimes, we'll just say the consumer side, they always, especially out here in Arizona, because it's like 65% entrepreneurs, they want to see the owner. It's like, if that's where your base started out, it's kind of hard to separate and bring in the manager, but then also it's like you assume if you've hired somebody into that role that they kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah, you would assume that you hire your replacement.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. You hire and train your replacement.
Right.
So if something happens where you can't be there, you're not, sick to your stomach worried about your business, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it would make sense that you can speak to the general manager or the bar manager.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's an issue, like get it resolved. Yeah. So, I mean, even when we had stores at Fashion Square, it would be like people come and buy clothes, whatever, or it was just people are coming in. It's like, just come in and spend money. You don't need to talk to the manager, you know what I mean? You don't need to see us, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of how it is, and like anybody who's been an owner,
business ventures,
entrepreneur out here. Yeah, Arizona's just a little bit different too, though, because you have a lot of, there's no middle class really, so it's like the kids who kind of have all the money and don't want to work, and that don't feel the need to ever think about working, and then everybody else who is working and understands it. So I don't know, we talked about that too, but it's just kind of how the industry is, basically.
Just trying to create, not necessarily create a demand out of nowhere, but just say, hey, you might have a little problem that you might not know you have, but I got the solution.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so then it's like the businesses that are either open to it or they're not. But at the end of the day, that's not my problem. My problem is to act for my vendors.
Yeah, so
and to continue on.
That,
so
and
that's what I'm
great to
doing.
hear.
Yeah. So I started out. So as you were saying, the 4 a week, I started at the Ajo Owls right there off of Violinda and 90th.
Violinda 90th.
Right.
What day is that?
That's Mondays from 4 to 7. There's only 2 more. I'm really excited though because we have a local florist. He's going to be there on Monday.
Okay.
And I was kind of bummed because I was like, oh, dang it. Hopefully you can be there. That would be fun to have like fresh flowers in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'll try to get her to come out to one of these again. And so I'm doing that. That's only 2 more weeks because they have limited patio space. And then Thursdays, we're doing the Ajo Owls right there off of Agua Caliente.
Caliente.
It's right there off of Scottsdale. Is that Scottsdale? I always mess it up. It's 69th.
Okay.
69th, and I believe it's Scottsdale.
Okay.
I mean, you can look it up online.
Yes.
Or find it on my page, the Glam Momprenuer. It's an event.
If you're listening to this, you have a device that you can find it real easy.
Hi.
Now, he wasn't present the last time.
Oh, no, he was on a play date.
Hey.
You want to say hi, Anthony? Huh? Say hi right here. Say
hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Your mommy is very cool.
Get close. Oh, he can't hear you. Here,
Oh.
get close in there.
Huh?
You're on live camera talking to there.
What?
Ask him a question or two.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your mom in coolness?
Get close.
A 7.5.
A 7.5. Oh,
Ooh,
is he part
that's
Russian?
low.
Is it?
No.
The Russian judge. Very cool. Well, I mean, I think that's higher than most parents would get. I would say that, right?
Yeah, probably.
I feed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get food, clothes, and plenty of hugs and kisses.
Exactly.
Too many?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. You want to get back to your food?
No.
Oh.
I'm just spitting it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's super intense. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, I'll be done soon. All right.
That was interesting.
Mom life.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, yeah, you're out here. You got both of them with you. Luckily, I brought my friend Alex, who's kind enough to wrangle them. Maybe teaching them a little chess. I see him over there.
Chess. I know they were playing chess, and I think, what is that game where the stuff falls?
Jenga?
No. It's like checkers, but
U.S.
it's
economy?
vertical.
What are we talking about?
No. Everything falls.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, no, but there are games here, so it's very family oriented as well.
Yeah.
So, is this the first event here?
Oh, this is the very first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm doing Thursdays at Ajo Owls there. We're on the
Yes.
back patio, though.
Okay.
So it's nice because you have that. If you just go in by Agua Caliente,
you were telling me, yes.
the whole back area, it's nice because it's right next to that Camden, the San Palomas property. Mm-hmm. So you can literally just walk in the back area, and I'm going to start live music. So if anybody wants
Yes.
to do live music,
Anybody interested?
yeah,
Reach out.
Yeah. Yes. I'm
That'd
going to get the
be a nice
media
spot.
out again. We need to do that.
Yeah, just get eyeballs. Let's get the eyeballs, and then eventually it gets to the right people.
Yeah, and they said we could actually do it all the way until the end of May
What?
because they haven't really been using that back patio at all. And I'm like, sweet.
Dope.
Yeah.
And those are still 4 to 7.
4 to 7, yeah, on Thursdays. I try to not do it too long because then everybody's kind of moms or they've got grandkids or, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a manageable point. Just because to do what these lovely people are doing, you have to sacrifice a little bit of that home life
Right.
to kind of cash in on the people coming to a happy hour.
Exactly.
You know, and exposing your product to them.
Yeah, and they do happy hour until like 6, so margaritas are like $3.75. That's why I was like,
hey,
the series is starting. It's fall. It's ready to go, right?
Margarita
Now you're
season?
gonna have to come back out. Yeah, no. I mean, they have margaritas. They have like, it was so amazing. Everything. So Mondays at Ajo Owls, happy hour is all day.
okay.
So, I mean, they literally have like the cheese quesadillas or whatever, and it's like it's like the size of a 16-inch pizza. And I was like, it's like $2.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Okay.
So you have to come out with the kids and the wifey.
Yeah. Bring them in.
Like, just come and hang out.
Feed
yeah.
them for $3.50.
Yeah, seriously.
Minus the margarita.
Yeah, seriously.
My wife might outdrink me.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. You can drive. It's okay. Right?
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, my daughter keeps asking when she can drive, and I tell her, 15 years from now.
Never?
Maybe.
You can get married and have a husband who drives you?
Yeah, right. There you go. No. But do kids want to drive these days? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm literally like put it on my to-do list to get my kids on the trolley because like I'm in Scottsdale and I'm more like North Central Scottsdale, but we have the free trolley.
I did not know that. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it literally just started like 7 months ago. So
it's not on a tram, like on a track. It's just like
No, it's the trolley. So it like stops at Fashion Square, but then they changed up the route some. So it kind of runs Jackrabbit and it goes all that whole Frank Lloyd Wright and stuff. But when I was a kid, like my mom always tried to make it so that like we could kind of function in life without her, right?
Again, when you're an owner, you're hiring your replacement.
Yeah, you have to.
I ran the house for 15 years. Now it's time for you to run the house.
Yeah, my mom's always like, "Oh, we started you doing laundry at 5." I'm like, that must be why I hate it so freaking much now.
That could be it. My kids right now are like begging to wash the dishes, and I'm like, let me get through the knives and the glass and then have at it.
Yeah. No, see, and I've got boys, and they're like, "Where are the knives? Do you have a machete?" I'm like, "No, there's no machetes here. Sorry."
You're raising Crocodile Dundee. That ain't a knife.
Seriously, it's so bad. But the trolley's like free, so I'm like, okay, we'll have to just figure out a day and just get on it so that they know. But my idea too is like,
does the trolley run by one of the events? Like I'm getting at.
Ooh. All right, so I need to do venue scouting.
There you go. See.
And make it a total event. Okay, see. Oh, gotta add that on my list.
Write that down.
I need a pen. I don't even have a pen right now.
I mean, we are recording this, so.
I know. Oh, yeah.
I will remind you.
Oh, good. Somebody will.
Did you forget that there's microphones in front of us?
I know.
Happens,
you know,
right?
it's. I've been living the life too long.
I'm touched to know that I made you comfortable enough to forget that we're blasting this
everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, this drink is so cute, though.
Yeah, what kind of glass is that? What face is that? What kind of
George Radin for real. Oh, it's like a Buddha thing. So this is Mai Tai, but they're most known here for their whiskey, I guess.
Okay.
And they were gonna give me is it an old fashioned? And I'm like, that might be a little too intense.
Maybe.
So the gal suggested a Mai Tai, but I don't really like super sweet. So we did this, and I was like, I want a cute garnish. So, because I don't know if we can see on the camera, but I like literally love these new garnishes that like everybody who's doing craft cocktails. It's the dehydrated fruit.
It's everything else.
Oh yeah.
Presentation.
I'll buy a drink just for the presentation.
Ooh. Okay. Well, do you like ginger beer?
Yeah. Like I like mules.
Yes, I love mules. During the summer, refreshing.
Yeah. I do. Just for a little bit, I was having too many of them. I always like to go into places and be like, what are you known for? And try to taste it, too.
Well,
I don't want to be
get interesting.
too basic.
Yeah.
I'll try anything once.
See, and I say I'll try anything twice, because maybe the first time was a fluke.
Well, hopefully you get drunk enough and don't remember the first time. So your second time's still like the first time, right?
Yeah.
I tried, what did I try? I was at Oban. So Oban just opened at the Grove right there in McCormick Ranch. And you have to go. It's so amazing. It's another freestanding, and they have Lucy's Kitchen, I believe, is next door, and I guess they have kid stuff. I haven't been over there because both my kids are in school, so I just do happy hour during the day. But it's been amazing.
Besides the point.
Yeah, besides the point. But they had a black tea, and so it was like white on the bottom, I believe, and then it's like a black licorice. So it's like layered, but then they have a huge cube. So it's like their take on the old fashioned. Because then it's like I don't remember what kind of that cube was. And then they had a citrus.
Yeah, there's a name for that.
It's a black tea.
Yeah, bringing in my wife a lot to this podcast. This episode.
Just have her come out next time. She loves Bar
Rescue. So it's like, they always talk about like the ice cube.
The big ice cube. Oh, yeah, you guys should definitely go there. Damn it. It's so cute. You have to go.
You're having me
Maybe
go
we'll
out
do
to
a podcast
places.
there.
Yeah, I would love to. Podcast anywhere.
Drip campaign. Just kidding.
Send it.
Seriously.
Reach out to us.
Yes. I'm excited.
Okay, so let's get back to the schedule. So Monday at Ajo Owls.
Monday at Ajo Owls. That's only 2 more Mondays.
Okay. Then Thursday.
And then Thursday. Yeah.
Where's that at again?
That's at Ajo Owls as well.
That's a different location.
The back patio. Yeah, that's the one that's off 69th. See, I should
Find out.
have it somewhere.
We should have these show notes.
I know.
So eventually I'll get a producer.
69th, and I just always mess it up. I'm pretty sure it's Scottsdale Road. Yeah. It has to be Scottsdale.
Okay.
Because if you're coming down Shea, you have to turn right.
Okay.
To get
and then
there.
Saturdays, is that still on the books?
Saturdays, I have a couple bigger events
Okay.
I'm starting to work on, so I had to do a little bit of transition. That's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
With anything in life, right?
Of
So,
course.
working on something at Desert Ridge, possibly Westgate,
So you're telling these
utilizing my
people to stay
network.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Make sure you follow the Glam Momprenuer. I also contacted, I think it's Local First Arizona.
Okay.
So they kind of list if there's vendor opportunities, all the farmers markets
Nice.
and everything.
Okay.
So I contacted the gal. I was like, I submitted a request like 2 weeks ago.
Let me speak
What's
to the
going
owner.
on? Yeah, no. And she was like, okay, well, just send me, here's my email. Send me the personal email. And she's like, how often is the event? And I'm like, no, I'm doing like 4 a week. She's like, just send me over a general flyer. So I made up a new graphics and general flyer for the sip and shop.
Yes.
That way I can just kind of start promoting that to drive traffic over to the Glam Momprenuer, because I'm trying to transition off of my personal page.
Which would be nice. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to become a
Just do my
unattended
branding
public
because
figure.
Right. Yeah, unattended. Good. I'll be over here drinking. Just tend to yourselves, please.
I'm a different person after 4:30. Okay.
And yeah, or 10 a.m. Just kidding. Happy hour starts all day in Arizona.
It really does. Well, it's part of.
It's like it's resort. It's
resort.
retired lifestyle.
Yeah. And it's people. It's always funny, like, because I'm from Arizona. You're
Yeah,
not,
that's right. Yeah.
So it's always funny when you meet somebody from Arizona, apparently, because it's like you always meet all these transplants.
Well, so somebody said yesterday it was like 80-20. 80% are from somewhere else, 20% are from here. So 80% of the people are trying to hide out from somebody or run from
Well, that's Alaska.
something. Oh, right. Okay. So, I mean, you could choose polar opposites, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Why is that? Yeah. The hottest state and the coldest state.
They're like, witness protection,
Runaways.
Alaska or Arizona.
Yeah,
You pick
I guess
it.
because
So don't ask anybody too many questions.
Yeah, the authorities have to, tread the environment of the extremes. So it makes it a little bit harder, I guess. I don't know.
I would not want to go to Alaska.
No?
If I was in witness protection, I'd be like, somebody please save me.
Yeah.
By the way.
And there's a lot of dry counties up there, which I think you would want to drink like 24/7 up there. And there's a bunch of dry counties.
What is dry county?
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know. All I know is so my older son's dad went up there and went fishing. And I'm like, you're calling me after doing what? With who? Just
Yeah.
kidding.
So now, grab yourself. I'm glad you're seated. But a dry county is like, so picture Maricopa County. You cannot buy, sell, or
Like no alcohol?
create alcohol. Yeah.
Oh, that's nuts.
Insanity, right?
I feel like essential oils would be really trending there. Like just to have some lavender.
Yeah.
Life
let's
will
get
be
over this.
okay.
Yeah. I would have to agree.
Zen
that's
time.
A little rough. I can't.
Why
picture
is that? Is it protected
that.
by?
I think it's like heavy conservative laws. I think is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's interesting. I've started to get into that
Into what?
a little bit more. Just
Laws
different
or-
cities' laws. Well, yeah, because now that I'm doing events,
Oh yeah.
I think one of the people I was talking to this week that I had a meeting at, they were like, we should wait until after 2020 because some of the laws are going to be changing as far as private licenses and stuff like that to do events.
leniency and regulations.
Like I
when it
literally
comes
just started this, you know that,
Yeah, of
in
course.
May. Yeah.
out. Yeah.
But most people, when they decide to go do something, they have a mentor. I'm my own mentor.
Yeah.
And then I usually get information from my vendors. Like they'll tell me like their input and what they think I should do.
Yeah.
Like a smart person would have a mentor though. But at least I'm
yeah,
getting through
but you're
all
still
the
getting some consultations, reaching out. You Googling?
No, I'm just kind of winging it, honestly. But I would definitely, so you guys can contact me in a year and I'll be your mentor.
Yeah, there
If
you
you
go.
want to start doing
well,
events.
I mean, what better way? I mean, there's not what was that
Sailing
Edison
head
quote?
first or
Yes. Was
whatever.
that Edison quote? I haven't I haven't failed 1,000 times. It was I found out 1,000 ways it didn't work.
It didn't work, exactly.
Yeah, beautiful quote.
Yeah.
For a guy that robbed most everything from Tesla. But yes, still a beautiful quote.
Side note. Yeah, it's been kind of interesting because I kind of just fell into it. Mm-hmm. I went up to a couple markets and I was in and I noticed, and we talked about this last time, but I noticed that you had to have everything handmade. And then I'm obviously in social retail, direct sales. So it's like, if you're in that, there aren't that many
that's where it's at now
for you.
The people, because I work in retail as well.
Right.
And I noticed that the people that appreciate American made and handmade and one-off and unique are millennials, so the younger generation, and then the older generation that remember before everything got shipped out to China.
Right.
The people in the middle, not to harp on baby boomers, but like that whole demographic there is just all about what's the cheapest shit.
Well, not
I need
even
to get
the
my hands
cheapest.
on.
It's like, how can I expedite this process faster? I feel like that's what it is.
That's part of it
because
too.
sometimes
but at the same
it's
time,
not
it's just,
cheap. Like when I bought in for Modere, it was $500.
Oh no, and that's I'm referring to like just American made quality stuff.
Oh, okay,
yes.
yeah.
I'm talking about people just wanting to get the cheapest stuff, and that's usually that middle aged demographic.
Okay,
that I've
yeah.
The
I see what
older
you're
people
saying.
and the younger people appreciate Etsy, the handmade stuff. I'm gonna buy local. I'm gonna do all that. Yeah, they're gonna invest in it. Yeah.
Well, and so even in
not to generalize, but that's what I've noticed.
So but to touch on that, so a lot of even the direct sales companies, they are, and I don't know all of them, but especially our products, they're made right here in Utah. They're manufactured here.
Nice.
They're not made overseas or anything like that, unless you have a market over there, because we have markets all across the world. But like you can actually go to the plant. There's a 10-step process for the quality, and then it doesn't have all the chemicals and stuff, but it is from here in the U.S. And that was something that was important to me, because I'm like, I came from a background in retail where a lot of the clothing, the manufacturing went from LA, and this is before the Arizona market started to pick up. I've noticed that the Arizona market here for apparel manufacturing is picked up.
It has.
And and almost in competition with LA, but a lot of our vendors went overseas. Mm-hmm. But our clientele noticed that right away, and they're like, how are you going to charge us $450 for a shirt that's like not the same oh, you forgot to take the made in China tag off.
That I experienced that in my line of work too, where this manufacturer started sending everything to Thailand, and then people were like, hey, you were supposed to stay US made, this and that. Like, okay, well, we'll make US made, and now it's an extra $1,500 on top of what it was being made. And it's like, well, there's your USA, so what's the price to pay for quality,
So and this is something that I've just kind of noticed, I feel like across the board, is like everybody wants to go into business nowadays, right? Some people don't know how it is, but if you get together and you have that community and that camaraderie with other people who are in your same industry, and you're like, these are our set prices, we are not changing it.
Yeah.
If everybody raises those prices, there's nobody that's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go to this place because they're cheaper and cutting out that higher end, because that's how it is. If you're getting USA made products and it cuts out, if you're trying to bring in those local, like we'll just say for apparel, right? If you're trying to bring in those local designers who are hand making everything, they have to cut back their profit margins. Mm-hmm. And then it just makes it like a lose-lose for everybody. And I think like how you're kind of saying the younger generation, the market determines the value. It literally doesn't, it just doesn't matter. If you're like, this is the price it is, and you can't go anywhere in Arizona or anywhere within your 20 miles to get it at a cheaper price, the people will pay that. They will find a way to pay it.
If it's a quality product.
Right. And I think some people that are in business, or they decide to do whatever, they don't get that, or they want to do cheap because they want to do fast and sell and quick, go and grow. But then if you're not ready to scale too, like you're gonna fail.
Yep.
But if you do that consistent quality, and you're gonna get that higher ticket price and that better niche clientele, I don't know.
No, there's so many things to consider. Yeah, because you like that's a great point where it's like, you make something that's smoking hot and really inexpensive, and then it just blows up, and then you don't have the overhead, the manufacturing, the inventory to keep up with it.
Right.
Yeah, and then, you know, then people will judge your company as like, well, they don't have it together, which you technically don't, but maybe you couldn't even account for it to take off the way it did.
Exactly.
Yeah. How many websites just take off and then they crash because all of a sudden they had this overload that they weren't expecting.
Right.
You know, it's happened to Reddit. It's happened to a bunch of just, you know, upcoming businesses that were like on GoDaddy, Squarespace, that stuff that just weren't.
Well,
set
I
for
just
it.
had somebody, and I was talking to them about this. They did IT, I think, at Michigan State University or whatever it is. And they worked at, I think it was a Lyft and DoorDash and all this stuff. And they were talking, this is another thing which I think is how I can take on extra events, is you have to be super organized. You have to have systems in place.
Yep.
And so, like, if you've ever seen this book, you know. Oh, I dropped it. But, like, I have this book. I have an Excel spreadsheet with different tabs for every day on my computer. I've got my other big planner that has all my notes for that week in it. So I've got everything in there. And then I think I'm going to start using the Trello app.
Okay.
As an easier system to bring in, because I was turned on to that by somebody in IT, for my vendors. Because right now I kind of just have a group chat that I put everybody in.
Gotcha. Okay.
But are you familiar with Trello?
No, so this is new to me, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So again, to go back to the person that was in IT, they were at DoorDash, Lyft, all this stuff, and they were like, you need to implement these systems. And they're in IT, but the owners were like, oh, we don't get it. We don't feel the need. But that's the thing when, like, you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to grow and scale. It's like if someone comes to you with an idea, at least try it out.
Yeah.
Because you probably don't know everything. I mean, I know
No.
I don't know everything. That's
Hell
why
no.
I, like, my vendors want to tell me, like, this is what you should change. This is what you should add. Like,
I think the people
we're going
that
to start
fail.
doing swag bags.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would think that the people that fail are the ones that feel like they know everything. You know?
Right. And I feel like especially now, that's a different subject. Hang on. Okay, so Trello I'm really excited about, though, because it's basically like a virtual whiteboard sticky app.
Okay.
So I can be like, invite people. I can just do sticky notes of like, this is the event and this is the time for Monday, and then Thursday, and then Sunday or whatever, right? And then those people can comment, and then I'll be like, this is the cutoff time. Like, let me know, and I'll invoice you. And those are the people that are coming. If you miss the cutoff, like, don't show up unless you're bringing cash. But it'll be nice because it won't be like, who's doing this and what's doing that, and I can kind of be a little bit more hands off. As far as
let kind of get it up, get the embers, stoke
you
the embers,
have to
and
get
then
the
let
systems in place, and that's what gets you over to that third wealth quadrant as well, is having the systems
where they're working
where
for
you're not a
they're working for you.
solopreneur. Yeah, it's not a small business. You're over in that third where there's the systems in place where if I did want to bring on somebody, you know, an intern, paid internship, whatever, to help me run it, it's like, this is the app we use.
Yeah.
These are the steps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The duplication has to be there if you're wanting to scale.
It's almost like a handbook at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people coming on.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like it. I'm going to need to look into it. What was it called again?
I think it's Trello.
Trello? I'll find it.
I'll message it to you.
Sticky note.
But a lot of people know, and I feel like that are in IT know about it.
Okay. Perfect.
I don't
I'll
know.
have to
And
do
see,
it.
I don't get to see that stuff all the time, so sometimes I'll just like...
How could you? How could you stay on top of everything? You can't know everything. You really can't.
But that's why it's good to like also get out of your comfort zone and kind of talk to other people.
Exactly. Get out. Yeah, get out. That's exactly like I brought my buddy Alex, and he's like, what is it? And I was like, there's a bunch of entrepreneurs, and he's on there. He's like, I need to talk to these people. I need to get familiar. And just be out and network.
Well, and everybody needs technology in their business because that's the thing. It's like there's ClickFunnels, there's Facebook ads, you know, sponsored stuff. I'm seeing more and more sponsored ads because people are just figuring it out. And those are the people that you're going to be seeing. It's like I just went to the OTT training over at ABC 15 Studios because I'm like TGM Haas, which is the marketing agency that I started. They're coming out with you know, a new feature that they're offering where it's basically like YouTube. And then it's the non-skippable ads.
Yeah.
And it's the non-skippable ads. So I can start offering that to my clients as well because, you know, a lot of people aren't doing the on-the-wall television anymore. A lot of people are watching on the iPads or...
Everything has to be made with the iPhone or the phone in mind.
The mobile capabilities, yeah. And so that's the next thing. I went to the training for that, and they were going over stats and how you kind of run the different demographics, all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty interesting.
And think about, because one thing I thought about too is like, oh, if I make an ad or if I get this going, like I need to do it landscape, you know, because that gets the whole angle. You know, people complain when you film a video.
I literally had somebody on, I think they were on Instagram, and it was just some random guy from India and was like messaging me, right? And he's like, oh, do you have a YouTube? I'm like, sure, go get me some views, okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to start doing, the landscape.
Yeah.
And he was like, do stuff outside.
Okay.
Because those guys know.
Yeah.
Know what
but
they're
landscape
doing.
is good for a full-on video. It depends, because Instagram is all portrait. So it's holding your phone vertically. So a lot of the ads you kind of need to run on vertical, even if it's a video, because when you're scrolling through your apps, you're holding your phone
then you got to make
vertical.
sure you're centered right. So if you need to crop it off, you're...
Well, that too. But yeah, I would think that everything would be horizontal because
Which
you
is
get the
why
best
you
angle.
should have someone who's an expert that knows that. Because, I mean...
A mentor.
A mentor, or just hiring somebody in IT that knows what they're doing. Who knows how to structure out.
Yes. You have to
click
invest.
funnels and landing pages. And I'm not... So somebody the other day was like, oh, I don't take a business serious if they don't have a web page. So you should obviously always have your domain bought, but as far as a web page, unless you're doing a lot, I don't really see. I really think like
I have
a
one,
click
and I'm like,
funnel.
and I question myself all the time. I'm like, I'm not getting as much leeway there. And I mean, again, I've been doing this since as long as you've been doing yours.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to be in that position where if
and then you have
this
to keep
took off,
paying for it.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be in that position where somebody bought it out and then I'd have to go pay some asshole like, hey, you took my name.
Seriously.
And now I got to buy it
the
from
domain, yeah, but you don't have to
have the website.
You don't have to have the website.
Yeah.
So for a couple of things like my interior design business, I just have an arrow pointing over to the Facebook page.
Okay.
It also helps get your likes up, which helps with your SEO and everything. And then you don't have to.
It's
okay.
What else you want to touch on?
What else do we want to talk about? Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. Thanks for coming out.
No, thanks for having me. Like I'm down when I can.
Yeah, not all the time.
We all have busy schedules. I mean, you got 2 kids of your own. I have 2 kids of my own.
Exactly, and you have a wife.
And
I'm
a
always
9 to
like,
5.
that's how I have. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, that's how I have free time. Is I don't have a man.
Yeah,
Single.
Hey.
It like really frees up a lot of your time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Oh my gosh, so bad.
He's good. We are all right.
I know.
So let's figure out another time we can do something. Like I said, I would like to do a whole promotion.
We need to do a whole series still. I think we're gonna do.
Of course, yeah. We need to do.
But that has to be structured out. We need to have like questions.
Get your notes. Yes.
Yeah.
That'll be more of a formal, buttoned-up interview.
I'll wear a blazer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. So if you want to come out and have something fun to do, it's not your stereotypical like farmer's market. I would say it's more of a boutique market is the direction I'm heading.
Okay.
Open to handmade vendors.
Yeah, just anybody.
Kind of anybody who wants to join. I wouldn't be opposed to doing a farmer's market. I'm looking at some just like venues that I can rent out, but obviously I have to have more vendors committed for it. But I'm planning on doing a couple of those social media trainings. Yeah. Kind of like.
But the big thing is that you're open to.
Oh, and I'm open to
everything.
expanding. Yeah, I mean, why not?
So
Who
if anybody
isn't?
has questions, like don't hesitate to just.
Reach out. Yeah. I've had. I mean, people reach out to me all the time. Like, do you already have this company? Do you already kind of have these products? And I let them know yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of open to anything.
Yeah, and that's definitely the vibe I get, which is very cool.
And I have a
What's a wine? What? You gonna leave us hanging? What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
you have
I'm
a wine
working
and
on
box
it
of wine
still.
in the car? Like, what are we talking about?
No, not boxed wine, bottled wine. Ew. So I have to work on the labels for that because they have.
Okay.
It has to be approved by, I think it's TTB.
Okay.
Because they separated from the tobacco and firearms, or the ATF or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, ATF. They split off, so you have to get the labels approved, and those are coming in from New Mexico.
Oh, nice. What's the time frame?
Well, as soon as I get the stuff approved, I mean, it's going to be like 4 to 6 weeks out, but I'm excited about that too, because then
it's another avenue.
Yeah, it's another avenue. Got to expand.
And you get your own wine. Come on.
I know. I'm
Nothing
super
but
excited. And I'm helping another gal do one of hers too. So
perfect.
It'll be fun.
Well, let's clean this
I think
up.
we're good.
Let's let people know again where they can reach you and where they should follow you. What are your handles?
Okay.
Email.
It's the Glam Momprenuer.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Facebook, Instagram. You can follow me on Pinterest if you want. I don't ever check it.
Yeah. So there's some vintage Claire Fifield up in there.
Oh man, I mean, you'll.
You have to go home and clean it up now.
You want to know my exes? You want to know what I used to wear? I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, vintage stuff. And then email is the Glam Momprenuer at Yahoo. I usually try to include it on stuff. Yeah, so if you're a vendor and you want to get your stuff out, I try to work with everybody too. It's kind of like.
Yeah. You gotta expand.
If you just want to drop in, you're visiting, you want to just drop in and do it one day, like just come out. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll learn something from anybody you interact with.
I mean, some people don't understand that literally all it takes is meeting one person or putting what you're doing out. Like, you have to tell people what you're doing, and sometimes you have to tell them multiple times. But that's why I like connecting in person, which is why I started the market, is because if you have that personal connection with someone, they're going to refer you for stuff every single time, especially if they don't know somebody else, or if they've seen it online, that's not going to stick. Like, meeting someone in person, finding that connection with them.
It's huge, yeah.
Right. But even if, like, obviously I've got kids now, so I'm not traveling as much, but I would find, if I was into this when I was younger, I would just go and show up at markets, because then now everybody who you choose to talk to in that state is now, you're opening up to all those markets. You know what I mean? Some people don't. Like, it's all just numbers.
Yeah.
And it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So that's the thing. I met somebody the other day, and they were just, like, name dropping, and I know this person and that person.
Okay.
And then I contact those people, and I'm like, hey, so-and-so. And they're like, who?
Oh,
it's like,
no.
oh.
Yeah. So he knows the names, or they know the names, yeah.
Right. But they weren't memorable to those people when you go back to ask them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why it's like, who knows you, not just who you know. Who knows you?
Yeah,
and
so
what do they know you for?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so maybe, they didn't make the personal connection. Maybe that was like, oh, I know this person through, email or through this.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I'm really
I like that.
big on that.
It's not who you know.
You got to use it.
Who knows you.
Who knows you and what they know you for.
That's my new one. Just playing.
You can steal it. We'll both post pictures with the same quote.
Are we all racing? Your phone's out of battery. So here
I know,
we go.
mine's not even within range.
Owning it. Well, Claire, it was a pleasure as always.
Yes, thank you.
Again, this was a Sip and Shop from
Sip and Shop
Bitters.
Market at Bitters.
In
Bitters
Scottsdale.
Bar in Arizona.
Yeah, Bitters Bar in Arizona. And this is a
Crafted
beautiful
cocktails.
complex here. So.
Yeah, we're here at ASU Sky Song, right off of McDowell and Scottsdale.
Yes.
It's like right off the 101. I think the 202 is closed too, right?
I don't know. Everything's
don't
closed in
either.
Arizona for whatever
But I
reason.
mean, literally right here, like the freeway's literally right there.
Yeah, it was super quick to get here and I was coming from
And
Chandler.
see, and that's something I'm looking for too, is like, is it accessible for the vendors or people that are going to come visit or whatever? So, yeah. Thank you for coming out.
You gotta dot your I's and cross your T's, and I love what you're doing. And
Thank you.
Keep on trudging forward.
Right?
That's all I can say.
Yay!
All right.
Thank you.
Well, we'll catch you guys later, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you sometime soon.
Perfect.
Adios.
Bye.
I'm waving goodbye to poverty, I'm making that change. So staking shrimp is how I'm living, catch me sipping. The paper acrobatic, yeah, that mean my money flipping. It's goodbye to poverty. Yes, I'm kissing. So long, I won't be writing. Good day, good riddance.